Hi there. All right, I'm making this video for you so you understand why you made what you made. Okay, so I have your paper. It's right here. Let's go over it. All right. So first off, formatting. Is incorrect. Look, you have this space up here. If I select all and go to paragraph, this is all blank. I've gone over several times that uh, when if I select all and I go to your formatting in your paper, it should have 0, 0, double. If it's blank, that means there's inconsistencies throughout your paper, which look, they're right here. Do you see you have this gap between your paragraphs? You have a gap between your paragraphs. You have a gap between your paragraphs. You're not supposed to have any gaps between your paragraphs. I've gone over this several times. One of the main things of this class, the only thing in this class is MLA formatting, proper MLA formatting. It's a requirement for the course, and your paper is not in proper MLA formatting. From day one, I provided an MLA template where all you had to do was download the template and write your papers in it, and it will be perfectly formatted for you already. But this is not it. So go here, and all the papers I've edited online, I have gone over this as well and discussed this and how to format it correctly. Go to double, okay. And then now that extra space is gone. The ones that were formatted there, but there are these other ones that you have to delete. All right, so that was an issue. Then I went over very specifically how to write titles from week 2 in the PowerPoint notes all the way through the previous week's lecture. I went over this as well. Quotation marks are used for short stories, titles of articles, while italics are used for movies and novels and titles of TV shows. So this like italics and quotation marks, these are all errors. Like no, like you do it repeatedly. This is all incorrect. So I'm going to highlight incorrect stuff. I'm going to do this to say the formatting was incorrect. You had the spaces between it was incorrect. And then you have all of these grammar, you have these spaces. You know, when you write your paper in a Word document or even in Google Docs, you need to turn on the edit button. So that way it highlights your errors so you can catch those. Like writing a paper, I mean, writing a paper, it needs to be formal. It needs to be done correctly. And so if you have incorrect space, you shouldn't have a space between the word and the comma. That should be closed up. Here, you know, this is an error. And like this is an error, and it's not even consistent with up here. You had quotation marks here and here. And so this is another thing is that like you had Hunger Games right here written incorrectly. But then here you italicize it, but then you add the quotation marks, which is totally different than up here. And then again down here, you have it in quotation marks, but not in italics. But then here it's written correct. You see, there's like all these inconsistencies. It's all over the place. So that is you cannot in a college level paper, you cannot have these kind of inconsistencies. All right. Academia is all about doing things, I mean, A, correctly, and then B, being consistent, showing mastery. This right here is an error in general because so you have an article states, okay, that lead in itself is, I mean, we wouldn't say an article. The article doesn't say anything. Maybe the author states something. But then we have a quote within a quote. One major difference is Hunger Games, and I don't know if you did this or if that's how it was written in the article has more male appeal, comma, quotation mark. Pandya says, distributor Lionsgate has been emphasizing the action and male skewing TV spots, and the romance is a minor part of the story anyway. So I don't know. A, that the quote doesn't totally make sense. B, it's like you have a quote within a quote. And if these are quotes within quotes, I went over how to do that correctly in the previous lecture. You have to have a singular quotes in between the quoted part. So like this right here would be a single quote. And this right here would be a single quote. What happened there? This right here would be a single quote. And then this right here will be 3 quotes. I literally did this in the previous lecture, talked about this. So there's errors. This is an error because it needs to be, there's a space. You have your word, a period, then space, and then your word. And you have those all throughout. See all these? These are all errors. Those are all errors. Those are all editing errors. Here's another editing error. Hunger Games title. Error. Here you're doing the Hunger Games correctly, which shows that you know how to do it. But then here you're being inconsistent. Expect that. Okay. The New York Times states this. So we don't have an author for that, I guess. And then we come down here and I'm like, what is happening with this works cited page? I don't know if you don't think the works cited page is important, but I'm going to tell you for college, it is absolutely 100% important, and it's a major part of your essay. You cannot, I mean, the standards of this course only rely on you understanding how to format a paper correctly in MLA formatting. So that way, in all your future classes, when you're writing papers, they expect your papers to be formatted correctly. It's my job to teach you this. And I've gone over this multiple times. Our very first assignment was the library research assignment, which was essentially an annotated bibliography, and you had to format your paper a certain way. Every single one of your papers had to have a works cited page. You title it works cited. I've provided examples of this. You don't have giant space between your sources. And for this paper, you're supposed to have 5 sources, 5. 3 outside sources, and then the book and the film. And then this is even a source. This is not a citation. This is just a link that doesn't even matter. So you're also missing your other 3 other sources, 3 citations, not a website citations. Okay. So all of this shows that that you have not mastered or even fully been able to consistently master or grasp MLA formatting, which is why your grade's at 50. I mean, that's why it is. It does not demonstrate that you have a passing understanding of this concept. Okay. I'm sorry. That's just kind of the way it is. So hope this makes sense.